So, since we should probably get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
You guys realize this is going to be episode 130, which means this episode comes out the week of Christmas. So this is our Christmas episode right now. I feel like it was a good tradition we started last year with some random Christmas question. Christmas question. That's a harder phrase to say than I thought it was going to be.
Last year was the song that we hate, right?
No, it wasn't supposed to be the song that we hated. I think it was both. It was like favorite and your least favorite or we ended up talking about songs we hated anyway. But that's this year, the question, Brian, favorite Christmas movie?
Favorite Christmas movie? Fat Man.
It's kind of new, though.
It is. It's newer, but I've fallen in love with it, and I've actually watched it the last 3 years. That's like my when I'm sitting around wrapping presents by myself. That's what I watch because I can't watch it with the kids. But I have come to find, I think, in my mind, a little bit like in the background, if I could pick anybody to play Emmett, if we were to make this like an actual like movie, it would be. It would be Mel Gibson to be Emmett.
He's not controversial at all. I'm sure that'll be just fine.
In all fairness, there have been some moments where Emmett's been a little controversial.
Yeah,
it's
but
been
not
subtle.
But not Mel Gibson yelling anti-Semitic stuff at the police. Controversial.
I mean,
I can see Mel Gibson
off-screen.
saying, "I'm just trying to subdue you."
Oh, man. Chris, favorite Christmas movie?
Come Back to Me. I'm not sure on that one.
I don't know that one. What does Come Back to Me? I'm just kidding.
Baby,
Kyle.
Please Come Home. Is that the name?
I want to agree with our dear chat and say Die Hard and play around with that whole hill because I think that's a phenomenal movie. But the OG Home Alone is a big one in my house. It's the first
They're the
one
same movie.
we run to. They're very similar. Yeah.
No, I'd stand by it. They are the same movie.
That's the same movie.
One's the kid version, one's the adult version. Same
Nakatomi
movies.
Plaza, the Chicago household.
I still love the fan theory of Kevin from Home Alone is actually the guy from Saw.
So this had shown up actually in like I can't remember where it was, but one of our Polish listener, right? He said apparently that Home Alone is huge in Poland. That's kind of like the movie that they watch at Christmas time there for some reason or another.
Weird.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yes, Die Hard, amazing pick. I love that movie. Chris, favorite Christmas movie? I intentionally am going with Jeremy for last because whatever he says is going to be a fucked up version of the question, and he's going to twist it around and not actually answer the question.
No, I have an answer. I have an answer that's not a non-answer.
Too late.
But I'm okay with going last. It's fine.
I don't have an answer. I have a weird, I don't watch it every year or anything, but A Christmas Story because when I was little, I looked like Ralphie.
You'll shoot your eye.
That got Brian really good.
But
I can see it now.
Can I just say,
it.
one of my favorite things is where Brian laughs so much that like the audio doesn't come through. Like it just blows the microphone out. And
We
like
call it a clipping laughter.
Yeah.
The guy who keeps playing snipers is Ralphie. Gosh.
Oh my God, I didn't even make a connection.
Oh, man.
But in reality, I don't know. I don't really have a favorite Christmas movie.
Actually, my wife had pointed out there was this thing online where they were saying that there was like a generational thing that like what your favorite Christmas movie is kind of like places you like generationally. And I thought that was interesting.
That makes sense.
I'll tell you guys in a second. Anyway, Jeremy.
So it used to be Scrooged because that was our family's like growing up movie. We watched it like every Christmas. We watched Scrooge. And then as an adult, I watched It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, man.
Like from start to finish. And then I learned some interesting things about Jimmy Stewart that the breakdown he has at the bridge where he's like freaking out, that was a legitimate freak out that he was having of like his own PTSD from World War II and like flying missions like over Europe. And that makes that so much more to me. 'Cause like just knowing that fact that like he's having a moment, like an honest to God moment on film, like he's not acting at that point. And my heart goes out to him. And it's a bit of a downer, but honestly, It's a Wonderful Life is now like a new favorite of mine. Now that I'm old enough to actually appreciate the story there and the nuance.
And I still stand that that's probably the closest representation to like the what the gospel is actually talking about as far as just what one man's life actually means to people around them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought you were going to say when a bell rings, an angel gets his wing. It's
well, no.
Yeah, that's all over the place in the Bible. That's like Johnny Redcorn 3-5 or something, isn't it?
Oh God.
Fairly certain I saw it in there somewhere. It's one of the Gnostic Gospels. You guys just it didn't make it to the Catechism, so it didn't.
Sure.
We lost that one in the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Dead Sea Scrolls. Yeah. It got burned up with the
Aramaic
library of Alexandria.
Johnny Redcorn.
Johnny Redcorn, the Gospel of Johnny Redcorn,
the 13th apostle.
Oh, fuck.
Johnny Redcorn, verse 1, chapter 1. He cracks corn and I don't care.
Rusty Shackleford 6'9". That's it. That was the other one. That was the companion.
Well, no, like they didn't make it to the Last Supper, right? Like they were off doing something else, right? They didn't make it there, and like by the time they showed up, everyone's arrested. They're like,
whatever.
We don't know that.
Johnny Redcorn was at the Last Supper. He was at the Last Supper, and then he was still in the crap after the Last Supper.
Johnny Redcorn had priors, so he couldn't be involved.
yeah, it's like I got priors.
For nostalgia reasons, I also might say like a Charlie Brown Christmas.
I love that one. I love that.
My favorite thing was when we had real trees, and Mom would pick a real tree for like the kitchen, and it would be kind of a crappy tree, and I'd just walk up to it and sing the Charlie Brown Christmas to make fun of the tree. Those were great memories.
One year I was on Air Contingency Battalion. Our battalion was like stuck on base for Christmas, and my roommate and I went out and we didn't get a whole tree. We just cut the top off of a tree and put it on like the refrigerator in our barracks room. And like he was also a corpsman, and we decorated it with like IV tubing and like gauze and shit like that. Yeah. Yeah. It was our
so you
Charlie
two
Brown
were alone
Christmas
on Christmas and did just the tip?
Well, it wasn't just he and I. It was the whole battalion. Just the tip.
Hold on, Adam, what's yours? We didn't get your favorite Christmas movie. We got everything else.
It's Scrooged. I love Scrooge.
Okay.
Scrooge, like hands down.
Good.
Like even like I love Die Hard, and I love like all you guys like named really good ones. But the one that no one mentioned that is also it's my wife's is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Like that's her
that's
all
classic.
time. Yeah. So we end up watching both Scrooged and National Lampoon's at some point.
Well, and if you guys haven't seen Fat Man, I mean, shame on you because it's been out for a couple of years. You need to see it. It's on Peacock.
Never even heard of it.
The bad guy in it, the main villain for the movie, Walton Goggins. So
Yeah.
So it's Mel Gibson versus Walton Goggins at the end for Santa Claus versus Walton Goggins.
I enjoy a good bad Santa every now and again.
Oh, yeah.
The other one I enjoy is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like the old school, like claymation, weird, creepy,
Rankin Bass.
like, yeah. I love that.
When we put the tree up as a family, like the big family movie is Jim Carrey's The Grinch when we put the tree up.
That's a good one.
I love that one.
Yeah, we put the tree up so early, like it's weeks before Thanksgiving.
Hate. Loathe and
I don't have a choice in it. If it were up to me, we'd put it up like
but I have nothing to wear.
I'm not going to lie. The week before Thanksgiving, I had inflatable dogs on my front lawn. So
Yeah.
So in this, I feel like in the what your favorite movie is defines your generation. I'm now apparently 106.
You've always been
Yes.
106. You're my best friend in the world. You've always been 106.
You're part of the silent generation. That generation between like the greatest generation and the boomers, like that one right there in between the two.
I'm okay with that.
And then the other thing that I want to kind of make as a Christmas tradition for our show is XP.
XPmas!
Yeah. XPmas Part 2.
Yes, the once a year we get to advance.
So I have a list, but I figure we can discuss these things as we go, just in case anyone has any objections.
I object.
Okay. Jeremy did not participate. I'll take him off of that list. All right. No. All right. So did you participate? Yes. Everybody participated, which means you're all going to get a challenge coin. So I'm going to move that over right now.
Ooh, Goggins would actually, if we could get Walter Goggins, he would be a good Valentine, or we could get him as a Yuri. That would be great.
I thought he was one of the guys in the club. Remember? There was a guy that looked like Walton Goggins.
Yep. I remember
I thought
that.
he could have been a
Getty the
Cole.
pimp.
He
Yep,
could have been a Cole.
pimp.
Getty the
He
pimp.
was the pimp. Oh, he would totally do that too.
Oh yeah.
I'm not the star. I'm this pimp that shows up.
For like 2 episodes, then I'm out. Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy. I love that show. Oh, God. It's so funny. All right.
Oh, somebody's going to die tonight. This is bad.
Oh yeah, it's me.
All right. So follow your moral code despite a significant risk. Does anyone feel like they followed their moral code despite a significant risk? What is anyone's moral code?
I feel like Emmett right now is I keep my promises. And then it was also to my wife and kids. But the whole APC, before that he said we're not going to lose anybody. We're going to this and that, and he stayed in the fight the whole time despite significant risk to himself as he was getting run over repeatedly.
Okay, so this was the APC fight, and then the finding the group of refugees.
Yeah,
oh, man.
I mean, it
then
goes
all
back
the way
a little
back
bit
to
further than that.
Krakow
too.
to Valentine. I mean, I don't remember the last.
Okay,
when
this
was
is back to Val. Oh, okay.
It's been a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. When was the last time we?
It was like
got
right before Ellis. It was like right before Ellis or right after Ellis showed up. So
Okay.
I looted a friend of ours for scraps. Does that count?
well, see, I don't know if I would say that's the following moral code, Brian, but I do have that checked as risk or sacrifice something to realize your big dream.
Okay, that's fine.
You know what
I'll
I
take
mean?
it for
Because
that
like
one.
that, the APC thing was kind of like a ends to a means to an end at that.
That's
point.
fine.
So
I won't split hairs over that.
all right, so I have that for Emmett, Bruce, because I assumed the jumping on top of the APC count. Yeah,
For the buddy.
Well, that was also like a big dream thing to be the
to be the hero. The hero. Yeah. Everybody underestimates me. I never.
I'm
really
going to
do
cut
anything.
this in with an axe.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Okay.
And then also Murph. So
Now what
the
do I
three
do?
of you get a XP for that.
yeah, I was going to politic for moral code because the moral code is to keep his team alive at all costs, even at great personal risk, and the clearing the mines on the bridge.
You know what? Sure. I'll give it to you. I'm feeling generous. I'm feeling Christmassy at this point. Jeremy, and I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because I saw you objecting. And here's one you're going to like.
I was going to do the moral code one, but
Okay, moral code.
law and order stems from people attempting to talk to the gas station people.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Go ahead. You get XP for that.
Okay.
I like that. I did point out before that you guys should say when you're using your moral code in those situations so that we could like, A, you get a bonus for it, and B, that's when they should theoretically apply. But yeah, okay.
I keep
I'm
forgetting
feeling
about
generous.
the bonus.
I know. Jeremy, I'm skipping ahead one. Risk your life for the PC who is your buddy. Now, here's something I'm going to do, right? I'm going to give you a challenge coin for Ellis. Taking the shot, intentionally not hiding in the middle of the street, drawing the fire of the APC. That's challenge coin worthy. Like, as a player, like, it fit the character, it fit all those things. Challenge coin.
I hadn't even considered Ellis. That awesome. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I'll quit my bitching.
There you go. Literally, Jeremy was complaining to me like yesterday about challenge coins and how I don't give them out enough. And I was like, I have a list. I checked it twice.
I'm sorry, Santa Claus. I was unaware.
All right. So, overcame a dangerous event using violent or non-violent means. Everybody gets XP for that one. So, another 1 point of XP for everybody. Does anyone else feel like they risked their life for the person who was their buddy specifically?
Jumped on top of a moving vehicle.
Who was your buddy?
Emmett.
You know what?
Yeah,
Okay.
and he even
I think you
actually
even
said
called it out.
when he did
I think you even called it out at the time.
He said, Emmett's my buddy. I'm going to jump on top.
There you go. You got XP for that. So that should be all the experience points. By my tally, that's Emmett with 4. Jeremiah had 4 plus 2 challenge coins total. So I'm saying 4. So 3 plus a challenge coin for Brian. 3 plus 2 challenge coins for Jeremy. 3 plus challenge coin for Bruce. And 4 plus challenge coin for Murphy. That's where I'm at.
So Merrick got 3?
1, 2, 3. Yes.
And then 2 challenge coins because 1 for Ellis, right?
Yeah, but it's a challenge coin, so they're transferable. So
Unilateral.
yeah.
Okay, so
yes.
3 XP, 2 challenge coins.
2 challenge coins. Yes.
Gotcha. All right.
All right. Been in combat and defeated your enemy. Yes. So theoretically, your morale should go up. Except a member of your unit has been killed or fatally wounded. Down.
Yep.
It never goes up because there's always the counterbalance.
Because of Jeremiah.
If it was always an A and an A, it'd be really boring.
Yeah, it would be.
Was he a member of our unit or was he just tagging along?
He was a member of the unit. It was a player character.
He may have been a mercenary, but he was a member.
I would only complain if they tried to pull that crap with Valentine.
By the way, I think
Like
a member
of your
that's
team
a
died.
mercenary.
It's like, hold on, we killed him.
By the way, I think a member that's a mercenary is technically a sex worker, but that's a whole other topic.
That's a different definition. That's what it is. It's not a different topic. It's a different
Robbing
definition.
member.
Well,
So yes, that's where we're at as far as the XP goes. And technically, you guys had made a camp at the end of the last session. So Merrick was the one that was awake, and Chris was the one that was making camp. Kyle was up trying to get people to fix his weapon. And I believe it was Merrick who was actually making that rolls and did, if I remember correctly. Go ahead, Jeremy.
What is our unit morale, by the way?
I'm a B and a B.
It's a B.
it's a B.
It's a B? Okay.
Yeah. Unless you have a higher command than...
No, I do
Yeah.
not.
All right, so since you guys are resting, and that's what's going on right now, or at least Brian is, Brian, would you like to spend experience points on anything?
Yes. I would like to spend. Oh wait, that's okay. I'm still going to do it. I'm going to spend the bank, and that leaves me with 1 when I'm said and done. But I can go persuasion from a C to a B.
Oh.
But that'll be 15, so that'll leave me with 1 XP coin.
That's ballsy. All right.
Yeah, that is pretty ballsy.
What's your empathy?
Empathy is a C, so I have a B and a C for persuasion.
Okay.
Did you succeed at it?
Yes, the food with Bruce when we were trying to leave. I helped do the persuasion. I assisted in the persuasion role with him for negotiating for food.
I mean, technically, you're supposed to succeed at the role.
But I was assisting, so I still had to make a persuasion roll.
No, assisting, you don't roll. The assisting just gives them a +1.
Yeah.
I did do it. I was the one who made the persuasion roll one of the times with that guy. One of the many times we went with it. Because I even wrote it down in my XP happenings that persuasion roll for food.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to say it's fine. Yet again, Spirit of Christmas. I'm going to be like, sure. But for reference sake, if you're assisting, that doesn't count as you succeeding at the skill.
Okay.
So, hypothetically speaking, if that was what it was marked for, it wouldn't count. So, then I don't remember. And I don't feel like going back and looking it up because I'm not the ghost of Christmas past. So, but that was kind of where we left off. Chris was the one who's making camp. He rolled 4 successes on hiding it. He rolled 1 success, got a point of stress on making camp. And Jeremiah was...
I was on watch for that.
You were on watch, and you were checking the web. And you got 1 success on your recon for watch.
Yeah.
For the nighttime. And that's pretty much what was going on. All right, so Kyle, roll me...
Weather, baby.
Yep. We are now the 15th of June.
A 2.
And it is sunny. And it's the morning of the 15th. You guys see the sun start to come up. What do you guys want to do?
Here comes the sun.
I love that song.
Is it all Beatles people that you just dislike, or McCartney?
No, that's a bad luck song, man. It's bad luck.
Oh.
It's like Macbeth.
It's a really happy song that lifts you up when everything is garbage, but everything has to be garbage. And it's like the fucking harbinger of doom is what it is. No, thank you.
What's your character's name, Jeremy?
Merrick.
I wrote that down on a piece of paper that I just threw away.
All right, so Merrick and Bruce were up. Chris was up. Brian was sleeping. Who's on watch? And the civilians, the refugees, were also around. And Dr. Bernard Dolinsky is the other one. He was kind of the leader, the de facto leader of that group. So I'm assuming you guys are going to sleep then?
If I was on watch, and because I don't remember if I took first or second watch. I think I took first watch.
First. It was first watch, yeah. Because you guys were setting it up at the nighttime, and then...
Yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because you guys have been traveling daytime, evening, and then setting up camps, and then night and mornings sleeping at the camps, rotation.
Okay.
And then moving.
We should probably adjust that a little bit. Yeah. But neither here nor there. Merrick's going to crash then.
All right.
And we got, what, 5 NPCs with us?
I believe 7. 7. It was 9. Well, it's 8 with Dolinsky, 9 counting you. So there's Dolinsky, 7 others, and Merrick.
Gotcha. Thank you. I'm going to bed.
So 12. 12 people total. All in all. Right?
I thought it was 10 total, but...
Whatever.
I mean, in a game of, like, resource management, that's kind of important. But anyway.
Well, they're also going out and doing scavenging, though, too. So.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so you're going to sleep. Murph, I'm assuming, is going to sleep since you got that point of stress.
Yep.
Yep. As a reminder, you had to have eaten to heal that point of stress. So, just letting you know.
I think didn't we decide we were going to eat last?
I think so. I think people ate. We were talking about like rotating eatings, and then that was why I was, just reminding you just in case. So, all right. So some of the civilians, some of the refugees are going to go out and do some scavenging. So I'm going to roll that over here. All right. So Brian, you're on watch. Would you roll me a recon roll? I'm assuming you're the one on watch with a +2 for binoculars.
Yes, and then +2 for binoculars. So C and a C becomes a B and a B, which gives us a chance not to die in our sleep. That is a 2 10s. That's 4 successes. Damn.
Okay. So you're sitting there for a while, and it's sunny. You can see the sun start to come up. You can see the light starting to change in the sky. And yesterday was like that super fucking blue day that you guys got, And actually, that was a couple days ago. But it's a little bit hazier today, but, still not really cloudy. It's more like Houston skies, where it's like clear, but there's this weird thin film over top of the fucking sky also between you and the sun.
That's called smog.
I know.
Radiation.
And, for the most part, the morning seems pretty quiet. At one point, though, like near the end of the morning, what would be the end of the morning shift, you hear way off in the distance, you hear a sound, like a gunshot. A few seconds go by. Second gunshot. And we're talking like, it's pretty quiet. Some people are sleeping, there's not a lot going on. So it's like, it's a ways off.
Well, that means that could probably either a high-powered sniper or somebody is out hunting just with the 2 singular shots. It wouldn't be a firefight is what I'm hearing. And you said that came from which direction?
Roll me a recon roll. At a -3.
-3 on the recon?
Yeah.
Is it at a singular D? A 4.
Yeah, you're not quite sure.
Okay. Yeah, so Emmett would, basically kind of hear the sound, know that it was more off in a distance, but not really know where it was coming from. He would still keep his eyes peeled. But the thing that's kind of itching at Emmett's brain is Ellis's map. Because he's realizing that where we've navigated to, we are just south of one of Ellis's exes. Not knowing what they actually meant, because Ellis didn't give us any information, but knowing that we are in the vicinity, and it's kind of a curiosity kills the cat kind of moment where it's like, we're 6 hexes away from where Keanu's tank was last seen, but we're 1 hex south of one of Ellis's exes, so Emmett's kind of just looking over that while he's on watch, and kind of it's one of those itches to be scratched.
We see Emmett looking at the map and just looking at that X right there. And so some time goes by, and you see one of the refugees running back towards the camp. And she was one of the ones who'd gone out foraging for food. And through the binoculars, you can see her, and she's like, looks like she's holding her side, and she's running through the open towards the camp. She's a little ways off because, you rolled fucking 4 successes or some shit on your recon, and got binoculars. So
he opens fire.
She keeps like looking back over her shoulder as she's running. She's like holding her side. And I mean, like, she's running, but like as you look through the binoculars, you can see she's bleeding. Like there is blood coming out. She's got her hand over her abdomen and she's like, quote, running, end quote.
And is the doc stayed here though, right?
Yes. Yeah. Dr. Dolinsky stayed here.
Okay, then Emmett would say, Dolinsky, look alive.
What's going on? What do you see?
One of your people, they're heading in. Looks like they got blood gushing out of them.
Felix, come, and he says something in Polish and like starts heading out there to meet her. She's a couple hundred meters out still. Like she's a little ways out. Anything else you're gonna do?
Emmett would then probably holler for Murph, just because they're going to be at the distance. He's going to kind of rouse the rest of the group, but Murph is going to be his priority. Murph, hey, I need your eyes up here.
What? What's up?
Get your gun. Get your eyes on your scope. We got a woman inbound. Looks like she's bleeding pretty bad. Doc's on his way out to her, and she's a bit outside of my range.
Would I be awake as well? Or am I still asleep?
I would say, as I started to holler, it's kind of more of a up to everybody else if they start rousing from that.
All right, Emmett. I'm going to need a little more info than that. Then
get on your scope and take a look for yourself. She's right out there. Doc's on her way out to meet him.
Yeah, and that's what you see. So.
And the doc was running out to her, right?
Yeah, the doc and another gentleman from the group.
Murph will try to catch up to them, or at least rendezvous with them wherever he gets to the woman, so I can get an idea of where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
What's is happening? What?
Looks like one of your people's took some kind of injury. Doc's on the way out there, and Murph's on the way out there. I'm staying put so that we got eyes back on the situation. How many refugees stayed here? Were any of the other refugees still here at the camp, or?
There were about hold on, about four of them had gone out. So she had gone out with like someone else, and there was another group of two that had also gone out.
Okay. I didn't want to abandon my post if, all the refugees were gone and she's the only one coming back. But
yeah,
if
no,
they're
about
still
half
here,
of them
then I'm going to stay.
out, yeah.
I'm going to stay here to protect those who were still sleeping or whatever here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Merrick's going to take up a position with his pistol to kind of help defend the perimeter.
Okay. So you guys are looking out, and as you're watching out, Murph, you can see it up ahead of you. You see Dolinsky and the other guy like running up there, and they get to her, and they're like helping her kind of move, and they like put their arms around her and kind of cradle underneath her shoulders to kind of help her the rest of the way. And as they're coming back, they meet up with you, heading out.
So he stops him, just puts his hand up. He's like, "Where was she? Where'd the shot come from?"
Well, I need to get her back here so I can treat her and down. We can discuss this back there. And he keeps moving. And keeps headed back towards the tree line.
You could backtrack.
What do you mean backtrack?
Track her, where she came from.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see in the tall grass her path, and it heads off towards the northwest.
Yeah, he'll head in that direction, but not running upright, doing the crouch run, sneaky, and stopping, every couple of minutes, or probably like every minute or so, to listen slowly and cautiously.
Okay, so how far are you going to go away from the camp before you would be like, this is too far, and turn back?
Oh, he'll go a ways.
Give me a distance.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
It's not like I have a specific distance in my head.
Yeah, I would say like quarter mile.
Okay. All right. So you head off.
And I'm sorry, like I said, stopping, looking through the scope, looking for target or threat.
Roll me a recon roll, and we'll loop back around to that.
9 and a 4, so 1 success.
Okay. So you're going along. The other three, Dr. Delinsky and the woman, make it back to the rest of the group. Hold on. I wrote a name in the wrong place. So actually, I have names for all of the Polish refugees now. Boom.
Makes it that much sweeter when I kill all of them.
No, it'll just make it easier when I get my new character.
I'll be like,
They've already
here
got
you
a
go.
name.
Well, they got a first name. I don't have their last names yet. I mean, I could, but I was like, whatever.
That seems like a lot.
All right, so Dr. Delinsky gets back, and he's speaking to as he's coming back into the tree line. He's speaking to her in Polish, and he like sets her down, and he's like checking her abdomen. You can just see like blood coming out, and he's like pulling out a med bag and like patching her up, and he's kind of talking to her as he's patching her up, and the other guy that's there with him, this guy Felix, which it was that ran out with him, Felix is asking her some questions too. Merrick, you know what they're saying. Like Felix is, and you also recognize that someone's missing. Gustav, one of the guys from the refugees, he's missing, and you may not know, but he was with her. And she's like,
yeah.
Gustav, he's dead. He's dead. He was shot. He was shot. I ran.
She says she ran, and Gustav is dead. Gustav went with her. And the whole time, Merrick is just translating for Emmett, but he's keeping his eyes out, and he's maintaining... He's maintaining his sector fire, but also translating for Emmett and the English speakers.
Yeah, and basically what you're able to get from it is like Felix is like, did you see who shot him? And she's like, I don't know, I didn't see it, I didn't see him. I just all of a sudden he was shot, and I took off and I started running, and then I got hit, and I kept running, I kept going.
How many shots were there?
Just I don't know.
If I had to guess, I'd say 2. I heard 2 shots when I was on watch, but it was off at a distance. I couldn't tell where it came from.
We cut over to Murph. Murph is out in the tall grass, patrolling along. He's got his rifle up. Chris, what does this look like?
Crouched, except for when he like kind of leans up, looks through the scope at the horizon to see if he can see any silhouettes, anything, right? Looking for a target or a threat. And then keeps following along the path. Like I said, doing the run crouch thing.
I mean, for the most part, it was like relatively open terrain here, if I remember correctly. It's kind of mountainous and hilly, but like it's kind of like you're in a valley, and there's like some trees over a little ways away, and like so there's patches of trees, and the hills are kind of to the south of you. But for the most part, it's open terrain, and like you're looking around and looking at, tree lines, kind of like scanning through, and we could see like in the crosshairs scanning a little crop of trees and nothing in there. And you don't see anybody.
Can I try to be sneaky using the infiltrator thing?
I mean, that's just you being sneaky, not noticing other people being sneaky.
I got you. But
he also doesn't want to get shot.
That's
Thank
fine.
you.
Roll a recon roll.
9 and a 5 this time.
So 1 success. This one is pushable. Do you want to push that roll?
I do. 7.
2 successes. Okay.
I think at some point he's going to stop and kind of go prone and use the scope to scan the whole 180 in front of him, looking for movement, something breaking the natural terrain. Looking for something that's not supposed to be there, which is what they tell snipers. Nothing in nature is a straight line.
Yeah. So you're about a quarter mile out. and you're scanning around. You can kind of see the grassy area where she was, like that she had run through, and it like heads off towards the northwest, like I said, still, and like that beat down path that she took, and you're kind of scanning along, and you don't see anybody else.
If he had known, but he wasn't there when she told him, but if he had known that Gustav is out there dead, he would keep going, but he doesn't know that. So he's going to, after getting out about a quarter mile, he's going to turn around and head back, but still in the snooping and pooping kind of way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And again, like, you know, every couple of minutes, stop and look back through the scope just to make sure he's not getting stalked.
Mm-hmm. I mean, quarter mile, that's 400 meters. So you go heading back, then won't take too long, but a few minutes or so. We go back in to the camp, and we see Dr. Dolinsky, and he's like treating her. He's like, I think I could stop the bleeding. I think we'll be okay. I mean, she's not, you know, great, you know, but he's like, quote, stabilized her, you know. So he's like, it did not hit any major organs. I don't think there's any, I don't think the intestines are torn or anything. She's very, very fortunate. I think it just grazed her. He's like, Gustav. But she's kind of like in and out, you know, like, still very fucking painful.
Mr. Emmett, we need to go get Gustav.
I mean, she didn't even know which direction she left him at. Maybe we can try and track back to him.
We can follow her trail back. Your friend is already off in the woods. We need to go get Gustav. We cannot leave him out there. That is what separates men from dogs, no?
That's true, but also understanding that 2 shots and 2 people who are, one's dead and one's severely wounded, that's also what separates men from dogs, is the fact that we know probably whoever took that shot actually has some semblance of knowing what they were doing. I don't want to see somebody else dead next to Gustav trying to pick him up. So if you need us to go get him, we can go get him, but I feel like at this point it may be a high risk trying to get him.
I understand that.
They didn't run her down. They didn't rob her. I mean, they weren't. If we get there and his body's gone, they were hunting for food. Why else would they have shot them? You know what I mean? Where we're at out here in the middle of nowhere, why shoot 2 random people walking by themselves? Especially one being a woman, right in the gut.
Yeah, that does not matter these days.
Exactly. So a group of men running up to get the other guy is probably looking at the same fate when we come to it.
At this point, Murph shows back up.
I will not leave him out there. I'm going to go get him.
Go get who?
Gustav. He was another one of the travelers with us. He was out there with her.
I didn't know there was somebody else out there with her. I went about a quarter mile out. Didn't see anybody, nothing. I scanned, looked, nothing. My worry, or potential worry, is that if they know that we're here, I'm hoping it's just a skirmish of sentry to sentry or scout to scout, but worry is that we could be getting flanked as we're sitting here.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm not going to leave Gustav out there to
That's
his
fine.
fate.
I'll go with you.
And this position is hidden very, very well, I think. But with the trail coming back, we need to be quick. We need to go find Gustav and come back.
Brian, you could tell from the gunshots that you heard that they were at least like a mile plus out. You know what I mean? Like it was real fucking distant shots that you heard.
Right, and then the time frame with her coming back probably also just secures that kind of.
Yeah.
How long did you run for, woman whose name I have already forgotten as player?
Wait, did I tell you what her name was?
I don't think so. Just that Gustav was with her and died.
Patricia.
Patricia.
Yeah.
Patricia.
Yeah.
How long were you running?
There's a J in that, by the way.
That sounds right.
Patrycja. Patricia.
I'm glad you guys pronounced that. I would have butchered that just looking
Patricia.
at it.
How long did you run for? Give me time.
I don't know. I don't know. It was
Think. Take your breath. How long was it? I
it
know
hurts when I breathe.
Well, if you are dead, it does not hurt. What would you prefer?
All right, let's see. Let me roll her survival to see if she knows how far she ran for. Okay, yeah, she based on what she tells you, it sounds like about 2 miles or so.
Okay, so it sounds like she ran for about 2 miles, which is what is that in kilometers? That is rough translation. What is that? Like 3.2 kilometers, roughly, I think.
It's still the same hex, I think.
It's
still the same
close
hex.
because
Yeah,
a 5K race is like 3.1 miles, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's still in the same hex. Yeah.
Yeah. So roughly 3.2 kilometers, give or take. So we go out 3 kilometers, go find Gustav, and then we come back.
At that
So
distance,
two-thirds of a 5K.
That's fine. It's fine.
my
I did
assumption,
that today.
my assumption at that distance, they didn't know that we were there. That's them encountering a scout or a lookout.
Or just marauders trying to take things. We may find the body stripped of anything, but still, we should find the body. He is still a person, you know?
I'm fine with that. He should get a proper burial.
Okay. You lead the way, and I will help you as best as I can.
Just follow my lead. Stay down.
All right, you two go secure him. Me and Bruce, we will stay here and keep an eye on the rest of the flock. So,
With the cover and the concealment that you have here, it's probably the safest place.
right.
So wait, so who's heading out?
Merrick and
Murph.
Murph are heading out to go get Gustav. And that's why I was raising my hand. What all does it do when you're sleep deprived?
No, I'm counting this as you slept. That's why I said the end of the morning shift.
Oh, whew. I was totally expecting to be sleep deprived. All right.
Wow, this Christmas spirit is really getting at him.
I feel like Merrick's going to die tonight, apparently.
Somebody is. I don't know who's taking the bullet, but I mean, I don't think it's just Gustav.
Yeah, right?
All right, so Emmett and Bruce are staying back at the camp. Murph and Merrick are headed out in the direction that you saw Patricia come from, to the northwest.
Good times.
Bruce, are you going to do anything? What's your plan while they're off wandering around? You want to go scrounging?
Do you want to go kill Patricia and take her shit?
I don't believe I was going to do either of those things. I believe when I'm woken up, I would... What's going on?
Two of our people, they were out scavenging, and one of them got killed. The other one's got shot in the gut. She's laying over there with Doc. Murph and Merrick are headed out to try and get the other gentleman's body to, I guess, see what happened and bring him back and bury him proper. And me and you, we're going to hang out right here and try and keep watch over the rest of the flock until the other two come back.
Gotcha. That's okay. That's crazy. Yeah, definitely. I'll look that way. You look that way, and we'll get her figured out. Pull out the old drag knob and scan around.
And we see Murph and Merrick headed off to the northwest. What does that look like, Jeremy, Chris?
You got the lead.
Yeah, slow trot again, with the semi-run crouch. Telling him to stay close and try not to make a silhouette if possible.
Every time that Murph gives him some kind of instruction, he kind of looks at him and rolls his eyes a little bit.
Well, I have no idea what you know.
But he doesn't say anything. He just continues along, but he's just like, why is he... Like, I'm obviously doing what I need to be doing. But, these Americans, they tell everyone anything,
Yeah, for all I know, you're a civilian. Right?
I think he told you guys he was a cop.
It's come up in conversation that he was a police officer.
Yeah, okay. Cop. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so you guys get about half a mile out. Moving along.
Is there a blood trail?
From her? Roll survival.
I'll aid.
Okay.
I don't think my survival's great. B and a D, so that's a B and a C. 10 and a 5. So 2 successes.
Yeah, you actually do see, you'll see, along the grass path that she came along, you'll see, a little bit of blood, a little bit of blood, a little bit of blood. Yeah. So, you do see a blood trail.
So kind of use that as a guide. And again, like I said, every couple of minutes or so, stop, look through the scope, see if you can see anything out of the natural way of things.
Get about 2 clicks out. Still same, you see the path. It kind of goes to a little tuft of trees, and then we'll leave that clump of trees and heads off a little bit further, maybe more westerly, and it kind of, it's not necessarily a straight line, it's like she was running from a little tuft of trees to a little clump of trees.
It meanders.
Yeah, well, it was like she was trying not to just run in the open, and you kind of go along a little ways, and you can see it headed towards another clump of trees. Get about 2.5 clicks out. 3 clicks. A little bit further. You go a little ways further. Yes, Jeremiah.
Would you like me to roll as the lowest recon? Because we're sneaking the whole time as well.
Yes, please. Go ahead and roll me a recon roll.
Okay.
And while he's rolling that, as we're going, are there any high spots that look like good positions?
Most of the higher terrain was behind you, where you came from. The hilly terrain was more behind you, and where you're headed towards is more like a valley area.
Okay, I'm obviously looking for a good shooting spot.
It's all back where you had come from.
I got a 6 and a 1. So I can't even push it if I want.
You can if you use a challenge coin.
Oh. I haven't done that in a long time. It's worth it. I'll burn a challenge coin.
Have you ever done that ever? Burn a challenge coin to reroll?
I have. It's a very, very rare occasion.
Yeah,
he was saving up for Jacob before, so
right,
he's used to hoarding them.
And by the way,
Scrooge McDuck.
Just to clarify, when I said I'm looking for a good shooting spot, I wasn't talking about for me. I was talking about for them.
Ah. Fuck, that's 5. So at least it's not a 1. So I got a 6 and a 5. Shit.
All right, I'm gonna roll something over here.
Yep.
Whatever it might be. So 1 success, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you or someone you love is struggling with combat-related PTSD, please call 877-717-7873. Again, that number is 877-717-PTSD. Or you can visit online ptsdusa.org. That's PTSD Foundation of America. If you call, you'll be immediately connected to a combat veteran who understands those experiences. And if you go to the website, they have in-person groups scattered throughout the United States. And if there isn't a peer group near you, they have online peer groups. Again, that's PTSD Foundation of America. If you're struggling, you don't have to go it alone.